We're here in Kigali and we're ready for a big day of racing ahead. Well, we've got very used to this incredible place. The sights and the sounds of Kigali, which have come to life pretty early this morning as the riders get ready for this men's junior road race, starting really early this morning. The riders have been up and being presented since 6:30 this morning. So it's been a little bit of a shock to the system for them, I think. We'll look out over the tea plantations and back into the city. So this men's junior road race, 119.3 kilometres of racing today. Overnight it rained here, so the weather has calmed down a little bit. 20 degrees this morning, but sunny, so it's going to get warm throughout the rest of the day. The wind has dropped, 3 km/h winds, although we've not really seen anything more than about 10 km/h during this week of racing. And the riders, having been introduced, are now getting themselves onto this start line, and we're about to see how this race unfolds, whether it's going to have a similar pattern to what we saw yesterday. Yesterday with a women's under-23 race. Lorenzo Finn, we remember that fantastic attack of his as he went away to take the victory. Before that, of course, some famous names now in the world of cycling. Let's take a look back at a very damp race of last year, but Lorenzo Finn just racing away, leaving his breakaway companion ultimately and soloing to a win in a rainy Zurich. From Turkey. I don't know why I thought he was from Tunisia. I suddenly thought his kit was different. So Yilmaz from Turkey, going uphill, 20 years of age, second in the Grand Prix Antalya in 2025. Too much of an advantage go. Alaleli there in second place. The rider on the front from Turkey's won a number of criterium races there as well this season. He also rode the Tour of Turkey. In 18th place on one of the stages. He also won a number of criteriums in Turkey right at the beginning of the season. They have quite a few in sort of February time. So Ramazan Yilmaz is the representative of Turkey in that front group. Peloton all riding. Oh, that looks painful, doesn't it? Malakwen of Kenya is dropped all of a sudden. He was looking okay, and now he's being distanced. The Eritrean rider, number 93 there. That's Yafiet Mulugeta. He's at the World Cycling Centre, actually. He's had a few performances. He rode the mixed relay team time trial. We saw him do that the other day. Was fifth in the individual time trial of Eritrea, and he actually finished second in a race in France, the Grand Prix de Clermont. Alalali's finding this pace a little bit too much. He was pushing on at the beginning. But it looks like his legs are just left wanting on that particular uphill section. Into the feed zone for the first time. Pomorski moves across the road. Just trying to get this breakaway established. Sora's at the back, number 62. Doesn't seem to be doing any work though. The Ukrainian rider, national champion of the individual time trial. Hasn't had many race days this season. He's ridden about 10 races. A few more conversations going on at the front of the peloton. We're not seeing as many riders being distanced as Alalali is now going back to the peloton. I think he probably got a little bit overexcited on that last climb. Would have been good just to sit in the wheels. I think he's just overextended himself a little bit there. So we're going to come down to the first big climb on the cobbles of the day. We're going to reach there at 153.4 kilometres of racing to go. It's a 1.3 kilometre climb at 6.3%. They've managed to grow their lead to 30 seconds now. If you'd like to get in touch today, please feel free at Across. Some more moves going on at the front now of the peloton as they just lengthen things out a little bit. This World Championship was first run in 1996 in Lugano. It was won by Juliano Figueiras. Last year it was Behrens who took the victory, as we saw right at the beginning of the programme. Axel Laurence won in 2023. This is Umaru Musa of Cameroon, just being distanced here. It's amazing to watch, isn't it, when you see riders who clearly are going downhill just as fast and they lose 10 meters and then you're gone. You don't come back. You might come back if you're lucky with a group or something, but you just realize that suddenly the peloton is gone. There's no rhyme or reason to it other than you've lost 10 meters and you're suddenly having to push the air yourself. Right, we're on to Kimihurura. 11% at the bottom, as if you've been watching the other races, we've got used to. So you have to really just concentrate on this climb. At this time in the race, these riders will just be measuring the effort. You don't want to go firmly in the red zone right now. We're starting to see some moves from the team of Italy. I'm just trying to work out what their plan might be. They've certainly got race favourites in this particular Italian squad. Lorenzo Finn was the junior world champion last year. Borgo is in here, who rides for Bahrain Victorious. And I imagine the Italian team believe that they can probably win today's race if they play things right. So Al-Alayli of UAE's gone from the front group all the way through and gone out the back, unfortunately. This is Mali. The Mali rider. And a problem here for the Haiti rider. Two Mali riders together. Tiamoka Diallo, Tiamoka Diamatan. Just can't go with the pace that's being set on this rise. 271 metres of climbing remain. And this race is starting to come back together. This is Kozaris. When we look at teams who might win today, we talk about the Italian team a moment ago. When you look at their squads, Alessandro Borgo rides for Bahrain Victorious, Lorenzo Fin rides for Red Bull Bora Hansgrohe Rookies, Simone Gualdi rides for Intermarché Wanty, and Pietro Matteo is part of the Visma Lisa bike team. And he's moving from their development team into their World Tour team. So there's that Italian team is incredibly, incredibly strong. Such a shame for the Ethiopian rider. Looks like he's got a puncture. Kozaris is our solo leader, but things are coming back together. Only 10 seconds then for Kozaris. Belgium have got a really good field of riders in here. Just watch the riders work their way up and over that particular little section. As Kozaris continues with his effort. Perhaps the race favourite for today. Jakub Soderquist, after his time trial the other day. This is the Ukrainian rider at the front, coming up towards the end of lap number 1. We'll get 10 laps of racing remaining. Jakub Soderquist of Sweden. He'll have to be clever, though. He's the solo competitor from Sweden this afternoon. But he's there, and he's the strong rider. He knows the course. He clearly was incredibly strong in the time trial. I'll get an idea now of the average speed of the riders, how things are going, as they come up to complete lap number 1 and get 10 laps of racing remaining. Kozaris is the solo leader at the end of lap 1. Not too many seconds between the two groups right now, just a matter of just under 20. This is the convention centre. Built on the model of the traditional huts. The dome-shaped landmark. It's a global conference hub now there, and It opened in 2016. Kozares has completed that lap. The average speed 41.6 on that first lap, which is a pretty rapid tempo. The average speed of the opening lap of the junior race was actually 41.8. So that lap was just a little bit slower than the junior race. Shows how well the juniors were going earlier. The pattern of this under-23 race, though, should be a little bit different. Leading across the line that time in the peloton was Paul Fietsker, Tim Rex, Marco Schrettel, also Jana Widar, Niels Abrasold, Hebron Berhan of Eritrea, Lorenzo Fien of Italy, Yo Habtiab was also at the front of the race. We're at 101 riders already. So we've lost 17 riders from the peloton on that first lap of racing. Kozares has clearly decided, I want to go it alone today. He was with that original group of riders. He's continued with his workload and gone away.
It's 2 horse match leads. Guys, you need to stay hydrated.
This is Jakobom Rosell of Slovenia, having a little problem at the back. Try this at home. He's obviously got a problem with this. I'm not so sure he's going to get that back in. Why not ride without your computer today? I don't think this is going to happen, is it? This is the little bracket, for those of you who don't know, that holds your computer. He's asked for an Allen key. This sort of speed, I just don't think is going to happen. He's got to get the Allen key in that bracket and get it done up. Why not go old school, take your computer off and ride? You never know what might happen. Jakobom Rosell at the back, rides for the Bahrain Victorious development team. He'll be riding for Bahrain Victorious' World Tour team next season. He's won the Giro d'Italia Next Generation. He's a very useful bike rider. He took that back in June. He was second on the final stage into Pinerolo. Fourth overall. That's a good idea. Swap into another bike. Jakobom Rosell, he should have no problem getting himself back on. So swap into a bike that he can put his computer onto. (19 years of age). Jakobom Rosell. One in Novo Mesto. There's a few riders here in the pits are bringing their race to an end, unfortunately, at the end of the first lap. Amaru Musa of Cameroon looks like, unfortunately, the bike gave out. That chain has gone. .46 kilometres to go. We will go down to the bottom of Kigali Golf again at 142 0.6 kilometres. Still Kozoriz continues with his advance. We were talking about 1996, the first edition of this under-23 World Championship. In the last few years, riders who have medalled in this championship are already, of course, top World Tour riders. Biniam Girmay was a rider who finished in the silver medal position in 2021. Girmay, such a trailblazer for African sport. Green jersey of the Tour de France just a few years later. And on that day, it was Baroncini who took the victory. Biniam Girmay was second, and he beat Olav Koy, who was in third place. So some fast sprinters that day. In 2019, it was Samuele Battistella ahead of Stefan Bissiger and Tom Pidcock. But that was the day when the result was changed right at the finish after the chase of the Dutch rider. Soren Varensgold has taken a bronze medal in 2022. Axel Laurence, I mentioned, the winner in 2023, as now the Belgian team come to the front. But other winners of this race in the history of this championship, Mark Hirschi was the winner in 2018. The year before it was Benoit Cosnefroy. We go back to 2013, Matti Moric took the victory. That was the year after he'd taken the junior victory. And I think that's the first day, as we see Jakob Omrosel come back. He's one of the race favourites for today. Matti Moric, winner 2013, the year after 2012 when he took the junior victory, and I think that's the first time in a bike race that we ever saw the super tuck. Many people think it was Chris Froome who invented the super tuck, which has now been, of course, removed from competition, but it was actually in that World Championship, Matti Moric in the under-23 race went onto the top tube and pedalled for the first time. It wasn't the first time he'd done it, it was the first time we'd seen it on screen. But that then became a thing. Chris Froome then used it in the Tour de France, and the rest is history. Group of riders just pedalling their way back in. We'll give the chance for the Venezuelan, number 79, Maestra, to come back. Before Matti Moric took the victory in 2013, Alexei Lutsenko was the winner in 2012. And before that was one of the fastest sprinters, Arnaud Demar. A world champion this time in the mixed relay, Michael Matthews took the victory in 2010. I remember him winning that World Championship. I think it was one of the first world titles I commentated on. Roman Sicard was the winner in 2009. And then before that, if you go into the 90s, Ivan Basso won it in 1998, and Kurt Arvidsson won it in 1997. So many big names of the world of cycling have won this under-23 title or taken medals as well. This peloton working its way now to Kigali Golf. We're about to hit the bottom of it now. One thing that was also interesting was in 1996 in Lugano is that Italy took 1, 2, 3. And then they did it again in 1998 when Basso did take the victory, and he beat Nocentini into second and Danilo De Luca into third. So 3 Italians in the top places overall. Kozoriz continues with his attack. France got a 1-2 in 2011 with Demar and Audrien Petit. And other riders who've taken medals in recent years, Pascal Ackermann, Leonard Kemner. We've mentioned Olav Koy. Louis Menkes took silver in 2013 in Firenze behind Matti Moric. Brian Cockard took a silver in 2012, so it just shows you just how important this actual race is and how you can become one of the top riders in the world if you take the under-23 world title. Italy have got the most medals, 16 in total, with 6 golds, 6 silvers and 4 bronze. Cozares has gone straight out the back, from front to back and out the back. It's happened now twice, with the UAE rider doing the same. Belgium in the ascendancy as the peloton is all together. The Ugandan rider is distanced. Shafiq Mugalu. They've got 2 riders in here. Laurent is also in there as well. So it's Belgium now who decide to just start to turn the screw on everybody. All 4 of their riders at the front. They've got 5 riders in total, so they've got 1 rider sitting a little bit further back. But this team are obviously deciding, let's take this on early, let's make life a little bit difficult for the rest of the peloton. As the Mauritian rider goes out the back, this is Piat. I think tomorrow we might see a lot more of this Mauritian jersey. Kim McCaw, one of the favourites for the women's race. Australia's starting to move forwards. In the green and gold, the white jersey with the green and gold across it. Matthew Greenwood, Zach Marridge and Hamish McKenzie. This is Amishi of Turkey, who's also now being dropped. And I think this is going to be that sort of situation throughout most of today, where we're just going to see riders getting more and more distanced. On the front of the peloton, Tim Rex of Belgium. He's the one who's been asked to do the work. Belgium may well sacrifice some riders in order to try and win this race today. Some team tactics will come into play in this particular championship. It's Tim Rex on the front, 21 years of age, rides for the development team of Fiesma Lisa Bike. He will be joining the World Tour team in 2026. You can see him there on that yellow bike, yellow and black Cervelo. Third on the stage of the Tour de l'Avenir in 2024. So many of these under-23 riders are moving into the World Tour so early. The South African rider realises suddenly that he's the last in the string. This is Joshua Dyke. And there's the makeup of the team. We've got Pedri Kroes, Blaine Kirk and Warren Moolman. Tim Rex on the front, 8th in the Liège-Bastogne-Liège for under-23 riders in 2024. It's a good climber, Tim Rex. Doesn't look that fast, does it? 76 kilometers an hour down this particular section. We're almost at Kimura for the second time. Got about 400 meters until we reach the cobbles. And we'll see what sort of damage the cobbles will do this time. Certainly it's getting rid of riders every single lap. And without really trying to exert any pressure on the pace, we're hitting 80k an hour down towards the cobbled section. We take this left-hander and then the next left-hander, and then we're pretty much on the cobbles again. Here we are onto the cobbles. Belgium in the ascendancy at the front of this peloton. The team of Italy just sitting behind. That's Pietro Matteo, who's there. Oops, problem here for New Zealand. This is the only New Zealand rider, Redmond Connolly. And he's got gear problems. He's managed to get it going by the looks of things. He's got a bit of a chase on his hands now, the New Zealander. Only 4 New Zealand riders are actually here at these World Championships. So you want to give him the best chance possible, keep him in that peloton, see if he can produce something for New Zealand this afternoon. We're into the afternoon now. It's 20-1 here in Kigali. Still Belgium force the tempo. So an important and nice touch today as we just see Delay go out the back for Tunisia, number 95. And in memory of Muriel Ferrer from last year, of course, that tragic day. Muriel Ferrer, the UCI has announced that number 84 will never again be used in the junior women's road race at the UCI Road World Championships in memory of Muriel Ferrer, who died after that crash last year. So we'll never see 84 used again. And I think that's a very important memory of a rider who is sadly missed by her friends and family. One thing that has come out of what happened with Muriel Ferrer last year, as we look here at Amy Rimazera going out the back, is that you'll see underneath the saddles of all these riders there is a little pack, a data pack, and that data pack is now being used for safety, and it gives it means that everybody knows that all the riders are still on the route, and that's an important innovation that's been added. Very, very important in terms of the memory of Muriel. So Belgium continue with the pressure, forcing the pace. You can see the peloton, everybody just hunched over, riders just being dropped, one of the Czechia riders going back in the convoy as well. We'll be interested to see how many riders are left at the end of this lap. We had, what, 101 riders left in the main bulk of the race. It's funny, isn't it? When you look at the riders, as we go back here to number 112, this is our neutral athlete, Andrei Belianin. It's incredible when you look at the Slovenian riders, how their position and their style mirrors Tadej Pogačar. And I don't know whether it's the way that they do their bike fits or bike setups in Slovenia, but I mean, it's a good thing to copy. He's the most talented bike rider of his generation. But when you watch Jakob Omrazel, who rides for the Bahrain Victorious development team, and will move into Bahrain Victorious, when he's climbing on that cobbled section, he has exactly the same style pretty much as Tadej Pogačar. And it's all the way through this Slovenian team that the way they hold the bars, the way they ride,
Actually, they are full now.
you can see it with the rider in the blue and white helmet. The style is so similar. Coming up to the end of this lap, we'll have 9 laps of racing to go. We'll see what the average speed is. It was 41.6 last time. Last time it was Kozores who led. He had a 14-second advantage. This time it's a peloton that is all together. Peloton a gruppe. And it's Canada who are going to be the first team across the line this time, with Jonas Walton, son of Brian Walton, as he goes across the line. Average speed 41.262. Jonas Walton led Evan Boyle from the USA across the line. Behind them it was Tim Rex. He must have enjoyed signing his name, surely, if he wins the world title and he just signs T-Rex.
UCI 25.
Kamil Eman was in 4th place. Jana Widar, Pietro Matteo, and a problem here for the Italian, and this is Simone Gualdi. Needs a wheel change. Not a bad place in the course to have a wheel change. Front wheel change as he gets himself going now. Eritrean Hebron Bahan also up towards the front of the peloton in 15th place. Lorenzo Finn is the rider up towards the front, having a drink for Italy, just pouring water over himself. Jonas Walton from Canada across the line first. Son of Brian Walton, who rode for 7-Eleven and Saturn, silver medalist in the points race at the Atlanta Olympics. He also won a stage of the Tour of Langkawi in 1997, and the Tour of Langkawi will start on Sunday. One of the most important Asian races. So there's our average speeds on the right-hand side. 41.6 for the first lap, 41.4 for the second lap. Around about just around 20-minute laps, 20 to 22-minute laps. Peloton now, Halvor Dolzbacher, and number 120 there is in the group of riders. That's Kam Chin-pok of Macau. Now the Chinese rider sitting in front, number 59, Li Yu. Number 56 looks like he's having a very easy time, isn't he, Schwarzbacher? Just moving the bike in the men's junior race. Got to be able to feel the race, feel the way that it's playing out for you and deciding when you make your moves. Belgium basically riding a team time trial on the front this afternoon. Very, very good English. As Gualdi tries to come back. So Gualdi just getting a little bit of water, pouring it over himself. It is getting more intense, the weather this afternoon. After last night it rained, it meant that it was a little bit fresher this morning. But now you're getting that intensity of heat and the altitude and everything combined, the more dense. So Jonas Walton at the back. Oh, a little bit of a wobble on that bike. That didn't look quite right. Why, but his bike was kind of moving around underneath him there. Just heard on Radio Tour an announcement to remind everybody to not throw bottles outside feed zones, because I've seen a couple being thrown and gels being thrown, and it's not a done thing, particularly in Rwanda. So they've just put a warning out to stop that happening. I have to say I was impressed that here in Rwanda, single-use plastic bags are completely banned. You can't bring them into the country at all. That is a great focus on getting rid of the single-use plastics across litter around this. I've not seen anything at the side of the roads. And so many other countries in the world, you have to you just look and you can see plastic bags and everything. You don't see them here, and it's almost at the bottom of Kigali Gulf again. Less than we're just about 2 kilometres there till we reach there again. Jonas Walton quite happy to sit on the back with the Slovakian rider just in front of him. Let's see what sort of damage Kigali Gulf does this time. The drumming that's become so synonymous with these World Championships, you hear it everywhere. Belgium carry on with their pacemaking. I'm just trying to work out what their tactic is this afternoon. Well, they just want to make the race really hard for later on in the race. They've obviously decided they need to keep this momentum very, very high. They've got Jana Widar, who rides for the Lotto team. He's been in their development team for a little while, but he's moving to their next term. It's about Lotto right now, Ardennes. He's an incredible bike rider, and he is potentially Belgium's winner of today. Jasper Skoofs is in there as well, though, and he is a member of the Soudal Quickstep development team. So Jasper Skoofs could be another rider. He's finished 9th in Valle d'Aosta. He's won a number of bike races. He just finished 4th in Chrono Challenge Lendelade. He rode well in the Tour de l'Avenir, a top 25 place there. He was top 10 in Valle d'Aosta, and he finished all of the other big races of the season. So Jasper Skoofs is another possibility for today. The Italian team there, as Belgium set a very hard tempo, 2 of their riders are coming back. Kamil Eamon bringing back Jarno Wiedar that we were just talking about. You wonder why Belgium have been riding that hard, or probably the answer is they didn't know these 2 riders are out the back. Jarno Wiedar looks around, little nods, wearing number 16, there he is, very, very comfortable. Doesn't seem to be having any issues today with the way he's riding. Very comfortable as he pedals his way back onto the rear of the peloton, and his teammates bringing him back. So Kamil Eamon is going to bring him right to the front of the race. Without the race radios, though, the 3 Belgian riders on the front have no idea that the pace they're setting is going to make life a little difficult for Jarno Wiedar this afternoon. Judah Thompson has abandoned for Thailand. That's a shame for Alaleli. He was in the breakaway and now he's abandoned the race. He gave it a shot. He tried to put the UAE on the map by going on the move. I think he got a little bit carried away. Once he was in that breakaway, forcing the pace at that time in the race is so difficult, but it was good to see the UAE represented in a breakaway in the World Championships. Through the feed zone, riders trying to get as much water on board as they possibly can. Got to be a mix of water and electrolytes for today's race, so that those electrolytes help with the absorption of the water, not just pure water all the time. But the riders also will be taking some carbs in their bottles, trying to supplement the gels they've got. But in this sort of heat, it's very, very fine line between being a little bit sick after taking so much water, gels and everything else on board, and being absolutely fine. This is Louis Leydart, number 4, coming back into the race. Louis Leydart rides for the Lidl Trek Future Racing Team, so he's in that feeder team into Lidl Trek, who've just, of course, signed Juan Ayuso. Back of the peloton, number 111, Lawrence Lorot, rider for Uganda, still there, still sitting in the wheels, doing a good job. Louis Leydart, though, 20 years of age, from Germany, riding for that Lidl Trek Future Racing squads. So he's got a chance of going into the Lidl Trek World Tour team if he continues to progress. He's just ridden Tour de l'Avenir, finished second on a stage into Vitry. On that day, he was beaten by Elliot Rowe of Great Britain. Still the peloton led by Belgium this afternoon. If you'd like to get in touch, at Ant McCrossan, at UCI_cycling is where you can get us during these World Championships. This is the Kigali Genocide Memorial. A very important memorial in this region that we've seen on a number of different occasions, but each time we see it, it doesn't diminish the need to talk about it and see it. That genocide memorial, just about 6 kilometers from where we are right now. It's a real testament to the courage and unity of the Rwandan people in that unimaginable horror in 1994. And that memorial chronicles the efforts to halt that genocide against the Tutsi. On to Kimihurura again. That whole genocide museum is really important. A living memorial honours the bravery of those who fought to save the lives of everybody and the millions who perished during the genocide. A problem at the back for the Algerian rider, Oussama Mamouni. Just in front of him is Mustafa Taraki. When you start to feel the pace, you really feel the pace on this course. So still Belgium pushing the tempo. Mamouni of Algeria going out the back, 22 years of age, here in this under-23 World Road Race Championship. Oh, and the South African rider is starting to feel this as well. This is Joshua Dyke. He's not enjoying this climb at all. And his teammate is also starting to suffer on the left-hand side at the back as well. Warren Moolman is feeling the pace. And some of the fans enjoying the fact that if you cheer the riders on a bit, they go a little bit quicker and they get themselves back in the race. Almost at the top of the cobbled section for this time. We reach the top at 121.9. Oh, big problem here. And Chain has got completely caught up. This is Kadbatar. And so many times this happens now, doesn't it? Where the chain comes off, drops in the middle, completely blocked, and there's nothing you can do except stop. Still Belgium pushing this tempo. They've really taken this on. Is this the right tactic for the afternoon? Eritrea is still represented up at the front. Riders now getting to the end of their training for the World Championship on Sunday for the men's road race. This is Alouani of Morocco. He's lasted a fair time and now he's getting dropped. Remco Evenepoel has just finished his preparation with a distance of 163 kilometres, 4.5-hour ride, and he's just said on his details of that ride, his log of the ride, actually one of the most beautiful training laps I've ever done. One of the big bits of news from yesterday, for those of you just fans of cycling and watch everything, is that the UCI Mountain Bike World Championships are going to Durango on the 40th anniversary of the first edition. They're going there in 2030. Can you imagine how big that's going to be in Durango? Mountain biking, it's going to be unbelievable. The end of this lap then. We're coming up to complete our next lap, and we'll have 8 laps of racing to go. The average speed has been up at around 41.2. Belgium are the team responsible for making that happen. As we approach here, we'll take a look at what it's going to be. Belgium cross the line first. At the front of this peloton of riders, 8 laps of racing to go. The average speed is 41.213 kilometers an hour. And in terms of the number of riders who are in the peloton, still at this point in the race, 79 riders remain. So after the end of the first lap, it was 101. Now we're on 79. 39 riders are gone. There's the stats for you on the right-hand side. There's a lot of building going on around this particular area of the course, as you'll see in the background. Seems like there's a lot of development of this particular area. Here's a group of riders trying to make their way back into the race, having been distanced a little while ago. Includes Jonas Walton, the Canadian. Also in here is Joshua Dyke of South Africa. Never give in, you just never know how things might develop. Tekle Alameo of Ethiopia on the back. Also in here is number 85, and that's Mounier of Senegal. He's the rider wearing the star on the back of the jersey, the red shorts. Amahoro Stadium means peace in Kinyarwanda.